So it's Nick here, and first video, my Soulless Necrons actually showing the models off, and we're starting here with my HQ units, and just have a quick pan round of the different models that I've got, and then we can have a closer look and see what they're all about. So start with this guy, my first Necron Lord that I've made. This guy, he's got a war sigh, and just turn him round. It's got a purple cape. Originally I was going to stick with purple, but later on I decided probably have to change the colour of the cape so I can distinguish which Lord is which, because I tend to put different war gear on them. So this guy here, he did have a problem with his war sigh, kept breaking off, so I had to pin that, my first pinning exercise. It's not broken off since, which is good. And my first Lord that I made, I sort of decided I probably would want one on a destroyer base as well, and the second one that I made was this one here, standard model, Lord on a destroyer base. So I tried to paint in the same theme, got the purple on here, obviously there's no cape on this guy, and again war sigh, it's got the resurrection orb. Oh yeah, later on in the game I decided to put a little orb on this guy. You can see that's just on the base there. I have now decided it's not actually painted very well, so I might have to repaint that, but it's actually there, just made that out of green stuff. So back to this one, and obviously it's got a destroyer base and a war sigh, as I said. This guy normally puts on there the invulnerable save as well. It's pretty much maxes them out really with the destroyer base, the resurrection orb, vulnerable save. Sometimes I don't play him with resurrection orb. If I'm going to do something like send him out with some scarab swarms, obviously there's no need to have the resurrection orb, and you potentially can have other war gear, maybe like lightning fields or something. It's always a good one, especially with scarab swarms. So that's him. I then decided to make a Lord with Staff of Light. So well, it's the same model as this one, obviously converted up a bit. That staff there, that war sigh is actually attached to his leg, so I had to cut that off and put on a tube, making that one into a Staff of Light. And again got the resurrection orb on his base because he's got that sort of like fisty thing there, the scarab on. So and this guy I normally use when I start playing Veil of Darkness, and the reason for that is I always find with the Veil of Darkness there's absolutely no point sticking a war sigh on, because usually you land and all you can do is shoot, and those three shots there, AP3, strength 5, they're worth having. A war sigh, not really worth having, because your opponent's just going to shoot you out after you deep strike. So I tend to not put it on. It's 10 points cheaper as well. So there's my guy there. Normally Veils of Darkness is around. So that's him. I then decided I potentially might want a model that I can change. So I can have either a war sigh or a deep strike. Sorry, a war sigh or a Staff of Light. And this guy, obviously he's got a blue thing, but magnetised arms on this guy. So there you go. It's a war sigh. You can have it round that way if you want. So this is war sigh, and then just take that off, and you can have, I can pick it up, the Staff of Light. So nice addition there. Makes a change sometimes playing the different models. So that's my three Lords there. Walking, foot-slogging Lords, usually with the Veil of Darkness on one of them, allow me to teleport around. In 5th edition, very vital really. So, next I've got another Destroyer Lord. Now the Destroyer Lord basically means that he's supposed to be on that sort of format, but I've got him on that format. So this is a conversion. I mainly did this because I was using the Lord to advance forward with wraiths. I thought it would be really good to have him on a wraith body. I think it's probably quite a standard conversion nowadays, but I like him. And I put a little cape on him as well, so you can see. He's got a war scythe. Well, again, Destroyer Lord, it's probably best to have a war scythe because we're moving around, he's going to be assaulting. That's my little bad boy there. He does have a resurrection orb, and on this guy, you can see it, but it's being carried there by that scarab swarm. Obviously, there are 2 big HQs available apart from a Lord, and that's the Catans or Cetans, however you want to say them. There's 2. There's the Deceiver. Now, my Deceiver was probably the last Necron model I actually painted, and probably my best painting of my Necrons. That's him, quite like him. And there's obviously the Nightbringer. Now, these guys I don't really use very often. The Nightbringer I have used more often. That's probably because I bought him way before more or less when I started up. Obviously, it's getting close combat. There's a lot of points. I think it's 360 or 365 points. I don't use him that often. No, it does eat into your points, especially if you're paying 1500 points. Same with the Deceiver, really. To be fair, I think I've used the Deceiver only once, which isn't a great deal, but 1500 points is a 300 point model. It's a lot of points, especially with the Necron phase out rule. Well, that's pretty much it, really. The Deceiver obviously has its different attributes to the Nightbringer. The Nightbringer very much close combat, in your face, get in as quickly as you can units, and the Deceiver using its ability to move your army around at the beginning of the game and force people to take morale checks. Potentially quite a good combination if you've got some priors in there. Talk about priors later.